Hello again! So today I wanted to talk about another interesting side effect of decluttering. So the thing is that I used to really love watching movies, and in the past few years I haven't really got around to watching that many movies just because I didn't really have the time, and also I felt like I watched all the good movies and the really recent movies haven't really resonated with me. That is why I haven't been watching movies recently. Back then when I was watching movies, I feel like I haven't really noticed many things. And what is interesting about the decluttering mindset is that it can hit you when you least expect it. I have been watching about 2 or 3 movies in the past few weeks because it felt cozy. The weather is getting cold, and that is why it felt really good to watch movies in the evenings. So that was when I noticed that I don't really watch these movies with the same mindset. I watch them with a completely new mindset. Especially in some movies, I realize a lot of resemblance to decluttering or just some patterns or some mindsets that I have gained through decluttering. And this change is definitely due to not only decluttering but my changed mindset regarding how I buy things and what I buy and what I do on an everyday basis. And I wanted to share a couple of my observations in movies. The first thing is that it really surprises me when a movie really mirrors this mindset. For example, Confessions of a Shopaholic, which is a movie that I personally really liked for some reason. Even when I was watching it the first time, which was in, I don't know when this movie came out, but it probably must have been about 10 years ago. Why this movie is relevant is because the entire movie is about the process of decluttering your life and really trying to find what you really want in life and what is important to you. Since this entire movie is about decluttering, I plan on making another video about this, just about this movie, just reflecting on what I noticed regarding decluttering. It is really interesting to watch a movie that is basically about decluttering, which has been an important topic to me on an everyday basis for a while now. I was talking about this topic with my boyfriend actually, and he was joking about the fact that Lord of the Rings is really about hanging on to things and what happens when you wear a jewelry too much. But that is obviously a joke. He really likes Lord of the Rings, so that is why that was the first thing that came to his mind. But I'm sure there are lots of movies that represent decluttering in a literal sense. But there are also movies that represent emotional decluttering, and I think that is probably the most common side of decluttering that appears in movies. And my example for that is The Holiday. With winter coming up and with the holiday season coming up, if you haven't watched this movie, then I recommend it. It is a rom-com, but it is a really well-made rom-com. When you are watching it, just think about the fact that Hans Zimmer was the one who wrote the music for this movie. And that is, in my opinion, a very pleasant fact. But in this movie, I noticed the need to find what makes you really feel good and to do in your life what really makes you feel good in both of the main characters' lives. In this movie, Iris managed to get out of a really toxic relationship that clearly has been holding her back and not making her happy. And Amanda was able to let go of her emotional issues, and therefore she could move forward into a happier life for her. There are also other factors that can be really interesting with this new mindset about movies. These 2 additional things that I noticed are really more about the making of the movie, how they made the movie. Now I really notice when a movie is really well edited. So they only left in the parts that make this movie really great. I think that you can notice that by the fact that you are not bored. You are not thinking about tomorrow's grocery list when you are watching the movie. Your attention is always captured because all the scenes are significant to the story and to the ambience of the movie. And what I also can appreciate about a movie is when it was made with a really low budget. I think it is amazing that a movie can be really great without having a high budget and without CGI. In that case, it really comes down to the basic factors of the movie, like writing a good script and having great actors in it and having a good story. And when these basic factors are really great, that is when you can get away with not having great visual effects. And it is really great when a movie manages to do that. So that is how I look at movies differently, since I have a different mindset. I am really curious if you feel the same way and what kind of patterns you notice in movies that you haven't noticed before. And I'm also open to suggestions regarding great movies, because that is always fun. So otherwise, have a really nice weekend. That is a great time to watch a great movie, especially with the weather getting cold. Here, by the way, the weather has been unusually warm and now it is getting really cold, so that is really cozy. Thank you for watching and have a very nice weekend.